Welcome back to Stone Age videos from Tag Team Hobbies. In this episode, we'll start in on the Eclipse CS. With this one, with the initial inspection. So let's have a good look and get this going. Here's the airbrush, and we can see right away, going to need to replace a handle. But as we look around on the body of it, I can see a lot of splattering. And the air valve's in really good shape. The action's nice and clean, never smooth. Got some nice turquoise paint built up in the cup. Oh, I like that color. Looks kind of sparkly, actually. A little bit of paint on the needle cap and on the front of the nozzle cap there. But hopefully you can see that ring around the nozzle that I've been talking about. That's where the air comes out and pulls the paint into the airstream there with that partial vacuum and shoots it out onto the paper. And actually, that's one thing about gravity feeds that make them better than a bottle feed in theory and practice. As that air comes over the nozzle, it makes a partial vacuum, and that's what pulls the paint into the airstream. So with the gravity feed, all the energy in that partial vacuum goes into moving paint out of the airbrush instead of up from a bottle. But anyway, let's get back to seeing what's up with this one. So, got some accumulation in there. That means we're going to be soaking at least the front end. Let's see if we can take it apart. Oh, we got a little dent. So this may have been dropped at one time. Oh, nice finger tight. That's good. So it's not glued in with paint. But we're going to take it all apart and clean everything anyway. And let's see if we can get this nozzle cap off. Nope. So we're going to need some tools out of the Water Pro Maintenance Toolkit. But we can get the head off. That was nice and finger tight. Looks like we might have got some paint inside that chamber. And a little on the needle. Let's get the needle out. Okay. So let's see where that paint's sticking. So back here is where the O-ring's going to be, the needle packing. So we got a little bit there. And then there's some paint up in the nozzle. So that, I'm surprised it wasn't stuck. But it wasn't, so that's all good. And yeah, looks like we had some leakage around here. We're going to soak that in Totally Awesome. Get this all cleaned up. But let's get the head cap and the nozzle cap apart. One thing I could do is just soak this in Totally Awesome. It's all that's the cleaner I use. This is all metal, so we don't have to worry about hurting any sensitive parts. But for today, we'll demonstrate the use of some tools. So we're going to need an Eclipse head wrench and our pair of soft jaw pliers. So I'll put the head wrench on the head and see if we can grab that nozzle cap with the soft jaws. Okay. Have to go up on the body a little. Try again. There we go. Whoop. Almost had it. Got it loose. Okay, so that means we got some accumulation in the threads there. We can get that out, that's easy enough. And those little holes are clear that bring the paint up out of the head into the little chamber where the nozzle cap goes on. So we'll get all that cleaned up. Still want to see inside the body here, so let's take the action out. See how things look. That looks pretty clean. We got a little spot there. Not so bad. Okay. That's a little dirty, so we can clean that up. The auxiliary lever here doesn't look too bad. There's some tracks on the back of it. Nothing too heavy though. No kidding. Well, there's no needle spring, so we'll have to replace that. So there's the air valve. You can see it looks like there's not too bad. I've seen much worse. But let's get see if we can get that needle packing out. Then we can start putting parts into soak after I take the air valve out. So, oh, that's pretty gooped up in there. And can't even find the thread, so we're gonna dunk that. Oh, see, bringing a lot of stuff out. That might be a little loose, but we'll find out. So there's a lot more of that in there, so let's get this air valve out so I can put the whole body in the cleaner and get the big chunks out. So here's our air valve wrench. There we go. That looks good. Get the sleeve of the valve body. Use the butt of the needle. Catch that. Push it right out. And now we got to get that. There, I got it with the butt of the needle. That's the valve piston O-ring. And that sits on top of the valve body. The valve piston on the main lever goes through that, and that's what operates the valve. And when the valve gets sticky, it's more often right up here and right here. So this one doesn't look too bad, but we're going to get everything all cleaned up. Okay, it's time to put some of these parts into the soaker and get them all cleaned up. So I send my customer an airbrush that looks like new and sprays like new too. Stay tuned.